Joining us now from Moscow, Kirill Dmitriev, the Chief Executive Officer of the Russian Direct Investment Fund, which is the main agency which spearheads the development and production of the Sputnik COVID vaccine. Thank you very much, sir, for being with us. Firstly, what sort of results are you getting in your trials in Russia so far with the Sputnik vaccine?
Well, I think we have great progress. So overall, there are 40,000 people undergoing post-registration trials in Russia, and the initial results showed efficacy rate of 92%, which is very high. Some vaccines for flu have efficacy of only 30-40%, but they're still being used. Anything above 50% is considered to be very good, and efficacy above 90% is definitely great hope. But this is based on our first interim analysis. So whenever 20 people got infected, out of 16,000 people who received both shots of the vaccine, we opened the data up, we saw this number, it got published. The next interim analysis will be done when 39 people get infected, but so far so good. Plus, we are manufacturing the vaccine in Russia, we will manufacture it in India, Brazil, China, and Korea, and other countries. People in Russia are being vaccinated, so definitely very positive progress on the vaccine.
And in terms of manufacture in India, Mr. Dmitriev, who are you tying up with?
So we have three companies that already we have started the process of technology transfer with, and they are major Indian companies. We'll announce them in December, and we already send them, the vaccines. They're already doing the technology transfer to process, and we are very much impressed with your companies. They're really top class, and India has one of the best pharma industry in the world, and definitely some of the best vaccine capability in the world, which makes it a great hub for vaccine production, not only for Russia, but also for many other countries.
In terms of your cooperation with the government of India, based on what you've achieved in your phase 3 trials in Russia, has there been data sharing that has taken place? Have you got any reactions from the government of India on whether this will happen here in India, will be accepted here in India?
So we are sharing the results with your regulator on a very regular basis. There is a phase 2-3 trials that are happening in India right now. Indian government already received our vaccine and is being tested, by the labs and different government authorities. And we are doing this in great partnership with Indian government biotechnology laboratories. And we have an agreement that they will use Russian data for the analysis. We completely are open to share all of the data on current stage of clinical trials on 40,000 people when it's complete. So definitely have great cooperation with Indian government and Indian regulators.
Mr. Dmitriev, where are you with the clinical trials in India? When will you start?
Yes, so we have been approved for phase 2/3 in India. It's already the work that has been started, and we have also a great partner, Dr. Reddy in India, who is a great pharma company, and they are working with us on those clinical trials. They are working with us on logistics and distribution, and we believe we have great partners in India with Dr. Reddy and a number of your producers.
And how big is the size of the trials in India? When exactly are you starting this?
So we have sent the vaccine, and we believe that people will be vaccinated, very shortly. Vaccine is already being analyzed by your labs. So basically, the clinical trials are already happening in India as we speak, and I think we have over 1,000 people that will be vaccinated as part of clinical trials in India.
And what are the costs per dose?
So, we are still finalizing the costs. They will definitely be lower than for many other vaccines, and we are trying to bring the costs down by working very closely with Indian manufacturers, by scaling things up. But the exact costs will be more clear to us in December, and we'll announce them in December.
And when will you be able to hit the Indian market in substantive numbers post-manufacture?
Well, I think it very much depends on your regulator approval, and we are working very closely with your regulator, and it has a great reputation not only in India but in the world. But basically, as soon as regulator approves the vaccine, it will be ready to be supplied to India. So we are waiting for that moment and working very closely with your regulator, and it very much depends on that. I think they're very happy that we have human adenoviral vaccine platform, which is one of the safest vaccine platforms proven over the last decades. And I think that's an important factor for them because they have seen 250 clinical trials of other human adenoviral vector vaccines before. So we are working very closely with them and hope for a quick decision by them, maybe even this year, but again, we'll see how the trials evolve.
Is this a 2-dose vaccine?
Yes, it's a 2-dose vaccine, and we showed very high efficiency even after the first dose. But it's a 2-dose vaccine, and the second shot is different from the first. Oh. And this makes Russian vaccine unique because basically after the first shot, you could have immunity develop into the first shot. So this is why specifically we are changing the shot to another shot so that there is no immunity to the vector delivering the spike of coronavirus itself. And we believe it's an approach that will give longer immunity and possibly a stronger immunity.
So when does the second vaccine need to be taken, and how long do you expect it to last, the effect of the vaccine?
After 21 days, the second shot needs to be taken. Again, it's too early to give exact predictions of the length of the vaccine. Our scientists believe it could last up to 2 years because it generates both antibody and cell response. And cell response is very important for longer term immunity. But of course, we'll understand it only, sometime from now. I think it's clear that our vaccine, because it's using 2 different shots, will typically produce longer immune response, and we have seen that in clinical trials, phase 1, phase 2, we have 1.5 to 1.7 higher level of antibodies than for people with convalescent plasma, so plasma of people who've been very sick with the virus.
All right, Mr. Dmitriev, sounds very exciting. One hopes that the Sputnik vaccine, along with so many others being developed now, can bring us all hope, and hopefully we'll start winning this battle finally.